Hey guys, it's Paradise, and with the latest patch in Elden Ring shaking things up with various nerfs and changes, we're here to bring you the top 5 builds after the patch that are still extremely powerful, and it may surprise you that some of these didn't get nerfed. So comment below what build you're using and if you got affected by the patch, but here's a showcase of the best builds that didn't receive a nerf and are pretty insane. And first we have the instant bleed Impenetrable Thorns build. I think everyone is surprised that this one didn't get a nerf. It still works just as strong. It's absolutely nuts. Essentially, the Impenetrable Thorns sorcery has some weird synergy with the Maternal Staff, causing the bleed scaling on the actual sorcery itself to proc instantly when cast near the target, causing all 3 thorns to instantly pop on them for massive damage. Of course, when slapping on all of the additional bleed items, this is just an insane build, probably the strongest or one of the strongest now after the patch has sadly nerfed the perfume bottles. So ultimately, if you're struggling on a boss and you want to rely on a couple casts of this Thorns sorcery to instantly delete them, this is probably a go-to build. For this build and most of the other ones here, we have in-depth videos on the channel showing exactly how to make them. I don't want to waste your guys' time going through every individual stat and item piece. And then we have the one-shot Carian sovereignty build. This is for the intelligence guys out there, and it's actually insane and super fun to play with. You may already remember the Carian grandeur from the base game. This is an upgraded and even better, bigger, more damage dealing move. You do a giant charge up and slam attack with a follow-up slash. The range is huge, the damage is massive. It works really well for pretty much any int build. This is something that I didn't believe until I actually tried it, and trust me, when you try this, it's super fun. Yes, there's a big wind-up time with the actual charge of the Ash of War, but the damage, the payoff is super worth it. So I actually highly recommend giving this one a go if you haven't already. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite new playstyles. Next is the One Punch Palm Blast build. This one is like playing the game on easy mode, as you essentially have complete hyper armor while using this Ash of War, as you charge up a punch that has a massive AoE and absolutely chonks everything and anything it hits. On top of this, your normal moveset is very strong. This is a hand-to-hand build that is extremely fun, simple, and easy to pick up. So if you haven't tried the hand-to-hand builds out yet, you want something that you can have actual fun with, as well as clap enemies and bosses in pretty much easy mode, this is one to try, and this is not on anyone's radar, so I don't expect this will get nerfed soon. Shout out to 269 for coming up with this crazy build. And then we have the Bleed Drill Spinning Gravity Thrust build. This involves using the Spinning Gravity Thrust Ash of War from Commander Gaius's weapon, his remembrance weapon, and putting it on something else attuned to bleed, then of course stacking together all of those powerful bleed items, causing the multiple procs as you hit things with it to trigger bleed rapidly, effectively giving you a bleed proc per spin, and you can do 2 spins per cast, making this an extremely powerful build, and you have near complete hyper armor while using it, meaning if you have the HP, you can tank anything thrown at your way and drill through them to proc massive damage and a bleed on top. This one might require keeping on top of your HP because you have so much hyper armor, it's easy to miss when you actually get hit, but man is the damage worth it. This one is pretty nuts. And then we have the Fire Knight's Greatsword. This one is amazing if you love going Faith and using an effective Greatsword. This thing has range, it has Ash of War customization, it can be used with the amazing Flame Skewer or Flame Spear, which are 2 of the best ones for this weapon type, and this weapon itself has a passive built into it, causing it to turn on fire and gain additional fire damage when using fire incantations or skills. What this means is that you can get a ton of physical and fire damage on this thing with some of the best Ashes of War at the moment. This has been slightly targeted for a PvP nerf, but in PvE, this thing is still pretty much exactly the same, super fun, and feels great to play. To be honest, if you haven't tried this out and you love melee builds, this is something that you have to get your hands on. The damage is extremely high, but it doesn't feel like you're being the ultimate cheeselord when using it. It just feels fun, good, and rewarding, and yes, you can still hit 5 to 8k per flame skewer when executed, which is very quick to do. So what build are you trying out after the patch, and are you going to give any of these a go? Tell us in the comments below, and drop a like if you enjoyed this roundup, and subscribe for more Elden Ring coming your way very, very soon.